What's up?
What's up, Lawrence?
What's up?
Hello, everyone that's listening. Welcome to the first episode of the After Hours SEO podcast. My name is Patrick. I'm from Leading Leads, and I'm joined by
Lawrence from Studio Hawk. We do
And-
SEO. You do SEO, right?
That's right.
That's what we do, and we're here to have a conversation.
That's right. So this podcast is the first episode. Just to let everyone listening know, this is just about SEO and my experience and Lawrence's experiences with SEO.
Well, like I was thinking about it in the car over. We're working on it two different angles. Like,
Yeah.
our agency is quite large. You're just getting started.
Yeah.
You're doing SEO in an age where I was starting to do it 5 years ago. So every time I talk to you, it's like you're giving me a bit more insight, and I can help you on more of the, the
so
longer
true.
term front, which always. We always come away from this conversation being like, man, I feel like we both learned something.
Yeah.
And it could just keep going forever.
Definitely. I think Lawrence just brought up a really good point. Just to introduce ourselves as well, if you haven't heard of us before, like I said, my name is Patrick. I'm from Leading Leads, and my agency is a little bit more of a startup agency. We've been around for about 2.5 to 3 years now, and we've worked on some accounts as big as Coles, for example, First Choice Liquor Market, Vintage Cellars, Liquorland, On-Time Delivery Solutions, which is like a national delivery company, and we also help a lot of the smaller, more like local mom and pop shops. Like local concreters, for example, permanent makeup artists, barbershops, and the like. So we're very boots on the ground. And Lawrence is the general manager of Studio Hawk, which is a massive global agency, I believe, at this stage.
It's getting there. Getting there. It's funny when people sort of say, oh, you guys are so big now. But for us, we're still playing in the realm of thinking other people are bigger than us.
Yeah.
And yeah, just for context, Studio Hawk, we're an SEO agency as well. Our vision is to just deliver the best SEO simply. Every time we talk about the complexities and nuances behind it, it always turns out to be, let's just make sure we can get some websites ranking really well. And whatever that takes in whatever format, we've done that for so many years now. It's still exciting, and we get to do it every single day. And my heart is still in SEO. I did a talk in Bali like a couple months ago, and I said, look, I wish I could do SEO every day, but my job is to be, the general manager. I still get to do it through my team, but that's why I'm so passionate when we have these conversations, because it's like, as much as I want to get my hands dirty, I get to live vicariously through you.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's where I guess like the partnership of this podcast works really well.
Should we give the backstory?
Yeah, definitely. So I guess the backstory was about 2 years. Was it 2 years or 1.5 years ago? Around there.
That's wild. It
Sometime.
was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It was a while back.
I applied to be an SEO specialist at Studio Hawk, actually.
Yes. I
thought I did really good on the interview.
You did.
Yeah. And then I was like super passionate. I remember rambling on about the smallest details about SEO. And then at the end of it, I thought I did really good. And in my head, I was like, I've got this. Like in the bag, I did, had a really good rapport with Gemma, who was part of the Studio Hawk team. Jenna, sorry. Apologies, it was a while ago. And then, a few of the team members. And I remember walking to the office, and I felt like, man, like, this is the place to be. Like, I feel like I'm surrounded by my people, because it's really hard to find other SEOs that you work with. And then, basically Lawrence delivered the news to me that I was unsuccessful, but he did say that, potentially with the amount of passion that I had, the knowledge that I had, and the drive that I had, that I shouldn't be a specialist and that I should pursue my own business, because he thought there was much more potential in that. And then he offered to also be my mentor very graciously, which I accepted. And then, we've been talking ever since. But I guess that's where when we started talking to each other, we realized that we are dropping like such great SEO gems, but we're not recording it or sharing it with anyone. We're just talking amongst ourselves. And I think that's where a lot of our viewers can get a lot of value out of listening to this podcast 100%. Is because I'm very boots on the ground. Like, you can talk to me about how to use GSA, like Ranker X, Web 2.0s, backlink tiering. Like, I'm doing all of that really micro, getting my hands dirty type of stuff, boots on the ground. Whilst Lawrence is the general manager of a huge agency, so he can give you a really great perspective on what it's like to, I guess, look at it from higher up, right? A bit more of a managerial perspective, and a bit more of a strategical and, I guess, a bird's eye view of different situations.
I'd say like more on the holistic level as well. And what I saw in Pat when we were seeing that interview, I'm like, I really like this guy, but he has so much ambition that it would be a kind of a disservice for him to work with, as just a normal SEO specialist than to go out and try something risky, just be super brave, and it's worked out. I think it's worked out for you long term.
Yeah.
Agree or not? I don't know. But I did, a lot of my job is like interviewing people, seeing where the talent pool sits in our agency and also externally. And for some reason, it just made sense in my head where you were at, that if you just went ham on what you're doing, we would end up in a conversation like this with a bit more flash and a bit more sophistication around it. But I'm super proud of where you've gotten to as well. It's crazy now you're talking about the clients that you work with. And a year and a half ago, you were just sort of looking to get in a normal role. And I was like, well, hopefully this has worked out.
Yeah. No, I think you definitely had the hindsight and like that long-term view of, I guess you could see where it was, and then you could see the, I guess like something that I always like to look at when in terms of team members is not where they are now, but the rate of improvement that they're improving at.
Yeah.
Because that will determine how high someone will go. And I think you had a really great foresight to see in me that like, hey, this guy is really early on in his career, but the level of passion, ambition, and drive he has is making him accelerate at an exponential rate in terms of skill improvement, knowledge of SEO, and like even the business side of SEO, that being a specialist might keep him too boxed in, might keep Pat too boxed in.
The timing for you was, you're at that right age where the window is now. And I recommend it for anyone in their career. If you've got a window, take it. And the worst thing that can happen is you fail. But I've met a lot of business owners that have started 4 businesses before one really hit.
Yeah.
But if the first one's going really well, just keep doing it as well.